main to raise. All right, let's go ahead and talk about today's essential question, which is how do you solve multi-step equations? So in our last few lessons, we have been working on single step. So doing just one step operations in order to solve for the variable. Today we're going to look at multi-step equations, but we're going to start with two steps. So multi-step means that you're going to have more than one step to do in order to isolate the variable. So we're going to have to use the inverse operation, which is the opposite, in order to isolate the variable. So our goal in our whole entire lesson is to isolate the variable. That is our goal. No matter how many steps it takes, our goal is to isolate the variable. Okay, so that is our goal. We want the variable by itself. Okay, let's go ahead and start with an example. So when we're looking at a problem with multiple steps, it would be something like this. All right, in this problem, your job is to get the variable by itself. So again, we have a balance, and we have to do to one side what we do to the other side. We need it to stay the same. However, it's not just a one and done, because in this problem, we have two different operations that are happening. First, we have addition, and we have multiplication. So the whole goal is to isolate that variable. So our first thing that we want to do is start with either addition or subtraction. So this is step number one. Start with addition and subtraction and do the opposite. So we have to do the opposite. So let's start with the first step of this equation. So we have an add 15. To get rid of it, we're going to subtract 15. It's the whole thing that we did before. We want this to go away. However, my variable is not by itself yet. So over here, I'm going to subtract 15. Now I can bring down 3x, and when I subtract, I know that 24 minus 15 gives me 9. X is not by itself. I have not isolated the variable. So I have one more step to do. My next step to do is either going to be multiplication or division. I need to do the opposite so that I can get the variable by itself. So here, right now, I have multiplying. So in order to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide. What I do to this side, I need to do to the other side. This becomes 1, and now my x can come down, and 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So I had to, 1, start on the side with the variable. Okay, so we always start on the side with the variable. Let's put that in here. So start on the side with variable. Okay, then we either look at addition or subtraction and do the opposite. And then we do multiplication or division, but do the opposite so that we can isolate the variable. Finally, we need to check the solution. It's super important that we check our solution, especially now that we're going to have 2 different steps and sometimes 3 steps. We need to make sure that we have the correct solution. So I'm going to take what I think is the solution of x equals 3, and I'm going to put it in here and see if I get a balanced equation. So now my problem is 3 times 3 plus 15 equals 24. So again, order of operations says multiplication and division first. 9 plus 15 is 24, and 24 is equal to 24. So it checks out. My solution was correct. Okay, let's do another example because I know that this can be super confusing sometimes. So we're going to go to the next problem here. So let's look at this problem. This problem actually starts with a negative 3x. And on the negative 3x, we have plus 5 equaling 2. Okay, so up above, we said we were going to start with either addition or subtraction on the side that has the variable. So you have 2 sides of your equation. 2 sides of your equation. You have side A and side B. The answer side and this side. 2 different expressions being compared with an equal sign. Again, we need to do the opposite to get the letter by itself. So my first step is to look at subtraction because this now goes away altogether. If I subtract 5 here, I'm going to subtract 5 from there. And I know when I have $2 and I spend 5, I owe someone $3. And I can just drop down the rest of this problem now. So I've done 1 step. Now I'm going for 2 steps. Again, to undo multiplication, I'm going to do division. So divide by 3, divide by negative 3. That goes away. I now have 1x left over. Negative 3 divided by a negative 3. Oh my gosh, over there's the same thing. I get 1. 1 whole, because I know a negative divided by a negative is going to give me a positive. So let's check our solution, because right now I'm saying that the solution is x equaling 1. So let's go ahead and let's plug this in. So I have 3 times 1, negative 3 times 1, plus 5. I want it to equal 2. Let's check this out. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 5. Negative 3 plus 5 gives me 2, and 2 is equal to 2. So my solution checks out. Again, you've isolated the variable, which is our whole entire goal. We want to solve for the letter. Okay, let's do another problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another problem. And this time what we're going to do is we are going to throw in, let's get this centered here. We're going to throw in some of the division problems that I know that people hate. And I'm putting it in here so that way you have it in your notes so that you are able to solve problems like this without freaking out, okay? So let's look at this one. All right, so this problem says, gosh, that one's really evil. Don't like that one. Okay, it's like they always give you like the most evil problems ever. Okay, so let's start with this one. 9 equals 1/3, negative 1/3 z plus 5. Okay, again, our job is to start on the side that has the variable. So we start on the side with the variable. This time it changed. Last time our variable was on this side. It doesn't matter which side you start on. Only matters is that you start on the side that has the variable. Your problem can be written either way is what I was trying to say. So your problem can have the answer here and the variable on this side, or switch it, but you have to start on the side with the variable. Okay, again, we do the opposite to get rid of addition or subtraction first. So because this one is adding, we're going to subtract. I wish that this was a problem that started with subtraction because we've already done those, but that's okay. We're going to minus 5 on this side. Now I have nothing, but I do have negative 1/3 z equaling 9 minus 5, which is 4. Okay, now I have to undo this problem. To undo this, typically I would divide, right? So I would divide by 1/3. That doesn't give me 1 whole though. So in order to get 1 whole, I actually need to take this problem and I'm going to bring it out over here and I'm going to do keep, change, flip, because I know that when I have a fraction divided by a fraction, I need keep, change, and flip so that I can get 1 whole. My whole job is to isolate that variable. I cannot isolate a variable when I have the same numbers on the top and the bottom. 1/3 does not give me 1 whole z. So I'm going to do keep, change, flip. And now I have a negative divided by, or negative times a negative, which gives me 3/3, which also equals 1 whole z. Okay, so now I have 1 z all by itself. The number that I multiplied by, which is negative 3/1, I need to do over here, times negative 3/1. Put this over 1. So now I have z equals 3 times 4 with a negative sign is negative 12/1, or z equals negative 12. So my solution is negative 12 is z. Let's put this back into the original problem and we will now check our work. Okay, so it said originally that 9 equals negative 1/3 z plus 5. Again, the only step we had to do here was divided by. We undid it. The reason why we had to keep, change, flip is because that is how you divide fractions. So that's why we had to get to that 1/1. So negative 1/3, negative 12 plus 5 equals 9. Okay, so now I'm going to go like this. Negative 1 times negative 12 gives me 12. 12/1 is 3 plus 5. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 plus 5 equals 9, and 9 is equal to 9, so they check out. This problem just took up half a piece of paper. And you know what? We're getting into some math now where that is going to continue to happen. If you write small, awesome. I don't, and I know many of you don't either. So if you need to take up a lot of room to do your problems, that's okay. That's what's going to happen from now until the rest of your life when you do math. You're just going to be using up paper after paper. Hopefully your whiteboards will come soon so that we can just use whiteboards as well. Okay, let's do some try it. It is time for you to solve. Okay, so let's look at try it number 1. All right, try it. Number 1 says 9 equals 3x minus 12. That is try it number 1. And try it number 2. Try it number 2 is m over 2 plus 6 equals 10. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving these. Go back, use your steps and your notes to help you solve these so that you can try to get them correct. If you're stuck, mark the areas that you are stuck in. All right, here we go. I feel like I need a different color, but I don't know where my other colors are. Okay, here we go. Start on the side with the variable. The variable is on this side. I'm going to start with addition or subtraction and undo it to get 0. Negative 12, I need a positive 12. This gives me 0. I can bring down 3x. I need to add 12 on this side. 9 plus 12, 9, 10, 11, carry my 1, is 21. So now I have a one-step equation here. Now I need to undo multiplication, which is division. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. I need to divide by 3 here. And so x equals 7. Again, we're going to plug this in and see if we get the correct answer. So I want it to equal 9. 9 equals 3 times 7 minus 12. 21. 21 minus 12 gives me 9. And 9 is equal to 9, so it checks out. Our solution is definitely 7. Okay, how did you do on this? Any areas that you need to mark for questions? Go ahead and do that now. And then let's go on to the next problem. All right, again, we're going to start on the side that has the variable and undo addition or subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 6 and subtract 6. This is going to go away. It becomes 0. 10 minus 6 gives me 4. Now I have m over 2 equaling 4. Okay, it's division, so to undo division, I have to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1. It was 1 over 2. Now I'm multiplying by that, and that gives me 2 over 2m, which is 1m, and m equals 8. Let's plug it back in and see what we get. So now this should say 8 over 2 plus 6 equals 10. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 plus 6 equals 10, and 10 is equal to 10. It totally checked out. All right, please find a spot somewhere on your paper. Hopefully you have some room at the bottom here. And I would like for you to please answer your essential question, which is, how do you solve multi-step equations? What is it that we have to do? What's something really important that we should remember? And then put your level of understanding out to the side. I have no idea what you're doing. I'm so lost. There's just numbers everywhere on your paper, Miss Englander, and I really, really need some extra help. 2, I'm okay. I kind of understand about which side to start on. Maybe I understand the idea around isolating the variable, but then I just get lost in all the numbers. Or 3, I am totally fine. I know that I need to either add or subtract, and then I need to either multiply or divide, and then I need to check my solution. So go ahead and rate your level of understanding out to the side. If you have problems or if you need help, please, please, please come back to the Google Meet and ask me for help. And I can also do some more practice problems with you. Otherwise, if you feel like you want to give it a go right now, go ahead and head on over to your practice work and start trying these out. Work them on paper. And I will see you on the flip side. Just kidding. Make it a great day. The Manta Ray way. I don't know why I can't ever say that. Okay, have an awesome day. Thanks for your hard work. Bye.